We'll see if we're live momentarily. It's sending it. We are hypothetically live. Yes,
Probably,
exactly.
more or less.
We are probably live. With that in mind, this is our podcast, Hyperfixation. We are on episode 8 now. Go us.
Yay.
Woo. We are doing nostalgia today. And we've established that we are doing nostalgia on the films and movies and maybe TV if we're running low on things to talk about.
All good stuff.
You guys want to do introductions again?
Yeah, we might as well. So I'm Gavin. I'm
Doing it forever.
I'm a third-year computer science student.
I'm Branden. I'm a Tesla student.
I'm Tyler. I'm a second year geography student.
Perfect. And we're gonna talk some movies tonight. It's still really early in the day. I don't know why I'm saying it's tonight. I literally woke up like
Feels like night.
40 minutes ago.
You done already?
I'm always done. Trust me. Days start too early. I don't know what to do with that information. So we're gonna talk movies and the ones we really liked as a kid. So I think, well, Tyler, you brought this one up already. Why don't I start with this one here? You brought up Princess Bride, and
Yeah,
I know that this movie, it's actually older than I am, so it's definitely not like
it was released in 1987. That can't be possible.
1987. No, exactly. It is older than I am, no matter how much you want to be mean to me.
You forget that it's. I keep forgetting that it is that old.
Yeah. Every time I see the actor Cary Elwes there, every time I see him in anything else, I'm like, God, you look old, because I'm just so used to seeing him in this movie specifically.
Yeah.
I will say,
Andre the Giant is also in this movie.
yes. And then like out of all the actors, the one actor that I have seen in things the most was like Mandy Patinkin, because he was in Criminal Minds for the longest time. Right? He was Gideon. He was in like the first 3 seasons of Criminal Minds.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Oh,
Yeah, I never made that connection
oh,
either.
what's that?
But yeah, Inigo Montoya is Gideon.
Holy shit.
He looks so different when you compare the two. Like, where is it? Here he is. That's him there. And then, like, in Criminal Minds is Gideon. He looks a lot closer to this.
He aged
Crazy.
less than gracefully, let us say.
But as far as the movie goes itself, truly iconic.
Yeah.
I don't think a single person would not, like, who's seen this movie, not consider it, like, at least moderately iconic. Just because it's one of those things where it's like, how many times have you heard people quote this movie just out of the blue where they're like, mostly dead, or rodents of unusual size, or the whole like
Inigo Montoya, you killed my father.
prepare to die.
Inconceivable.
Yeah, or as you wish. Like that's a pretty common one too.
Yeah.
Like there are at least like 5 or 6 extremely quotable things from that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Almost every scene is iconic in its own right at this point.
Yeah, and the most interesting thing to me about this is that this puts it at what, 35 years old,
Yeah.
and we haven't seen like a sequel to it, not even like a spiritual one. I'm just
Honestly, I think that's okay because that movie by itself is like timeless.
Oh, absolutely. God, my forehead looks so bright right now. 1 second.
And I don't think anything they could make will live up to the original.
Oh, for sure. I'm surprised is all it is. I'm not saying they should do it. I'm just saying I'm surprised we haven't seen one, right? Knowing like,
Don't try to cash in.
Yeah, corporate greed has made me kind of jaded, so like, I feel if they did make another like sequel or like a remake or a reboot, like it's not bad.
yeah, no.
Well, yeah, and I mean, there's people just wanting to make money off of it, but there's also just there's like people will. It's gonna probably, if they ever did try and make, like, say somebody just really wanted to make a good sequel, they're very unlikely able to do it because it's gonna have that classic problem where you try and make a sequel to something that was so great and you're gonna try and recapture all those things and it's just gonna be feel tropey or
It's gonna happen though eventually. There's no way that like an IP gets left. It-
possible.
Nobody leaves IPs. It's free money.
Yo, this is like really out of left field when it comes to Princess Bride, but I was thinking about it the other day. Do you think that King Farquaad from Shrek was inspired directly by the king in this movie?
I believe it.
I honestly don't remember the king at all really off the top of my head.
Prince
but...
Humperback.
The king is like
Humperdinck.
low-key the funniest guy.
This guy.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm just looking at those clothes, and I'm just like, oh yeah.
1 second. You guys can keep going. I just entered my phone.
I mean, I guess he's not actually a king. He's a prince who wants to marry what's her face. So he can't become a king. There's also the plot of Shrek.
Yes. So no, you've already hit the nail on the head with that. It absolutely is.
I love the size of his crown. Like it's like so gigantic.
Yeah. No, that's funny because I don't remember the last time I ever watched that or Shrek, but now I'm just like, the parallels are incredible. Or like too obvious to ignore.
They got like a full Princess Bride wiki. Oh my god. We can read all about the deep lore there. Have any of you guys ever read the novel that the movie's based off of?
No, I have not. I did forget that it was actually a book.
Yeah, I've always been curious, because like, from my understanding, it's more of like a classic piece of like British literature.
Well, it makes sense.
Like we would never have been forced to read it, right? Like no teacher in middle school would have.
Oh yeah, no one this side of the water would have, or at least like for our elementary, junior high kind of readings, they wouldn't have thought to. Very rarely do any teachers here think to use that kind of stuff. It's always like meant to be local literature.
Yeah, which is understandable.
Yeah. But it'd be way more fun if they brought out more stuff like from overseas that are actually fun to read compared to all the other stuff.
I've always supported like a more like worldwide approach when it comes to like literature and like history classes, at least in like the K-12 context. Like I was always really annoyed when I was a kid that in history, like I was like, yo, I want to learn about like world wars and like how Europe came to be how it is and like how Africa came to be how it is, and instead they're teaching me about like some rebellion in Saskatchewan that happened in the 1700s, and it's like, bro, I want to get to the cool stuff.
Obviously it's good for us to learn that stuff, but at least we do actually have. Well, then again, it's been a while since I've been in social studies, but we do have like at least some worldwide like learnings in our history classes, which is nice. It's not all focused just on Canada, which makes sense because there's only so much history you can really talk about with Canada.
Yeah, and there's also only so much history you can talk about with the world, right?
Alright, I'm back.
Yep.
Alright, we still on this one? Good movie.
Good movie.
Good movie. Separately from Princess Bride, another one that I feel like is in a very... So, obviously, like, there's the Monty Pythons of it all that are, like, very much the same sort of vibe. I don't think we need to go into details about Monty Python too much, but, like, I will say that Monty Python, very similar, like, comedic level there for me. And then, obviously, the most iconic one is probably the Holy Grail. I feel like not a single Monty Python movie hits the same high as, like, Holy Grail for most people. And, like, even, this movie's even older.
Well, Monty, I'd say Holy Grail and Life of Brian tend to be the ones I hear about the most.
Yeah. I feel like Holy Grail is the first, like, everyone's first foray into them, which is really funny. And then
Holy Grail is like so overquoted that I actually can't enjoy the movie anymore.
that's
like,
fair.
Every line from this movie has been quoted. Like we talked about how there's like 10 famous quotes from Princess Bride. Like when it comes to like Monty Python and Holy Grail, you can look through the script and every sentence has a quote that people have said online at least 2 times.
It's just a flesh wound. Yeah, no, absolutely. The coconuts is also a big one too, where they're like
Yeah.
running around the coconuts, and then the just
Or
a flesh
the,
wound in this whole scene too, where they're yelling at each other.
They're,
Well,
the
favorite
guy coming
God.
over the horizon to the castle. Dun, 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 dun.
I do like how the whole movie, like they stick with like not actually having voices. They just do like the.
Yeah.
It's not even just like a gag at the open.
I do really like Monty Python though. I think it's really funny.
Yeah. Monty Python's some good stuff.
Why does it say release date was 2009? Weird. What other like medieval fantasies are there that you can think of that were like pretty classic?
I mean, we can't.
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. There you go. Yeah. So I just want to go through the list of those first. Army of Darkness. Absolutely. We're getting a little newer on that one, but I mean, Army of Darkness is also very, very iconic. And honestly, the miniature work in it is so well done too, right? Obviously, this is my boomstick. And again, extremely quotable.
I've actually never heard of this one. Holy shit.
You've never heard of Army of Darkness?
Oh my
This,
god.
the
I'm laughing
sequel to
so
Evil
hard.
Dead 2.
It's okay, so you've heard of Evil Dead, right?
Of course.
Okay, so there's Evil Dead, then there's Evil Dead 2, which is functionally Evil Dead 1.5, but funnier. They decided to they lent into the camp a bit more, and then they did Army of Darkness, which is the follow-up directly to Evil Dead 2.
It's like Evil Dead, right?
Yes and no, because really Evil Dead 2 is barely Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
Evil Dead 2 is more of a retelling of Evil Dead 1 with just a slight variation to it.
Evil Dead remake, I got you.
I love Army of Darkness though. There's Evil Ash looking all gross and shit.
Oh, shit, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen Evil Dead 2, Tyler?
No. I've only seen. I actually haven't seen any of Evil Dead movies. Like, I
No?
know of Evil Dead, but I've never seen.
That's fair.
Evil
I
2
love
and
Evil
Army of
Dead.
Darkness, So much fun.
Yeah, the tone in Army of Darkness and Evil Dead 2 is so distinct. And look at this chainsaw. Boop.
Wait.
What is this? As a comic book?
Yeah, there's so many good comics in the Evil Dead universe. It's so good.
So
And
if Evil Dead 2 is just a better version of Evil Dead 1.
I didn't say better.
It depends
It's
what you
funnier.
go into it for. Yeah.
If you want the genuine experience of what Evil Dead was initially was, you gotta watch the first one. If you want to watch what the rest of the series is, skip the first one, watch the second, watch Army of Darkness, watch the TV show. I don't know where the new one is gonna. That's funny.
That's great.
But no, I want to show you where the miniature. Show me the miniature shit. Yeah, like the amount of like prop work, and then he's got his like cool robot arm that he built.
Oh shit, yeah, I kept on seeing that image.
Yeah.
I
it was
like
so silly.
Yeah,
Evil Dead the game?
yeah, yeah. This one here, I have it. We all just collected it on last week from Epic for free.
Oh fuck.
Me and Branden were playing it.
I was trying to push it. There's no way you didn't know about this.
I was very annoying about it.
That's so funny.
It's fair. It's a fun game though. It's a 4-player game. It's 4 versus 1. One player is playing as sort of the director, as it were, where you're technically the lead deadite. So when you're moving around out of body, you move around like the camera in the show, where it's just like floating along the ground, skidding around like that. So you move like that, and then you can like spawn mobs and stuff to like make it more interesting, and then you can spawn the main boss deadite. So Evil Ash and a bunch of different ones. It's fun.
It's like a 3v1 kind of game, I guess.
Yeah, it's 4v1. It's like Dead by Daylight and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I love Army of Darkness. It's super funny.
Yeah, it's basically the way those first 3 movies are. Is like the first one was actually trying to be like a scary horror movie, and it was good, but it's definitely like campy, and it has a lot of moments where you're just like, eh. And then the second one was just like, what if we just made this but funnier? And so like it's still like horror, but it's got so many moments where it's just like what they do is ridiculous and so much fun.
It's like carefree horror, It's like
Yeah.
horror, but I'm not gonna pretend to be like.
It's truly horror comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the third one's just like it's horror elements in a comedy movie.
That's Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this one counts, but it feels like it does, seeing as it is like 15 years old now.
I have never seen this
You've
movie.
never seen Stardust.
No.
So
What is it?
Stardust is it's a movie, obviously, and it's based off of, I believe it's a Neil Gaiman book. Let me double check this. Stardust is based off of oh god, come on. Stardust, Neil Gaiman. Yeah, Neil Gaiman. So pretty hard to adapt, but they've been doing a good job of it recently, right? With Good Omens and Sandman, right? But yeah, so essentially what it is there's a separate world that has magic and our world doesn't, obviously. You can you cross the barrier, you can go there. And the whole premise is that Buddy here, who, for context, this is Daredevil.
Oh shit, yeah, I thought it looked familiar.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say he does have very generic handsome man face.
Not usually. Yeah. When he's in Daredevil, he's more distinct, right?
Yeah.
With the glasses too, obviously.
Okay. That's Charlie Cox as Daredevil's look more, right? Which he's a really good Daredevil, actually. He's so funny and sassy in the role too. But yeah, so this is him in it, and then there's Hirsch, and a function what it is that he sees a star falling from the sky, except for if a star lands in the magic place, the star is a person.
Right. No, I am pretty sure I did see this movie, or at the very least, I very much remember this plot.
Yeah, and it's essentially everyone is racing to get the star. And then the funniest thing about it to me is that like the cast is like, yeah, there's Gerald, Henry Cavill, looking hilarious.
No way.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Everyone in this cast is someone like super famous now. So Charlie Cox wasn't famous then, famous now. Claire Danes, still pretty famous, all things considered. Ian McKellen is the narrator.
Probably famous.
I mean, that's what I saw.
Fair enough.
Ben Barnes, he's famous now too. He was Prince Caspian.
Yeah.
He was in Punisher. He was the bad guy in Punisher in the second season. Like, he's in Shadow and Bone. He's in a bunch of things, but like Ben Barnes is in this. Obviously Henry Cavill is in here. And then you've got, where is she? One of the witches, right here. Then you obviously got Robert De Niro as well, right? Like the cast is stacked, but it was such like I want to show you how badly this movie did on Wiki. Here we go. Let's see.
It seems like it's posthumously stacked.
See?
This is like before it got famous.
No, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I do remember people really liking this movie, so it kind of makes sense that a lot of these folks would probably go on to do more stuff.
It seems like the kind of movie that's like an underrated kind of cult classic.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the box office, but then good at DVD.
Michelle Pfeiffer. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, no, I loved Stardust. I randomly watched it recently with Zoe.
I definitely watched it, but I do not remember anything about it.
Another one that is moderately more relevant now than it was 3 weeks ago. Willow.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've seen Willow. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I definitely haven't seen it.
Willow is also very Princess Bride levels to me. Because, like, the way that they chant the, like, spells and shit was such an iconic thing. And then, also, like, Mad Mardigan. Val Kilmer, when it's like, I stole the baby from the bikini while he was taking a pee-pee. That's such like an iconic little fucking thing too.
Those are words.
It's from I can't remember what the small people are called. Here, Willow stole the baby gif. Beautiful. Here, let's see. I stole a baby. I stole a baby. Yeah, these little guys here, they're tiny. At one point here it is. I stole the baby from you, Daikini. Daikini is what the small people are called the Mad Mardigan. And they stole the baby from him when he was taking a piss. Yeah. In fact, one of the things that I think is really funny about this is this moment here where he's dressed up like a lady, because I feel like that's what inspired when Thor thinks that he like does that like lady voice in Ragnarok when he's wearing the shawl.
Oh shit! Yeah. I know exactly. Holy shit! I never thought about it that way. I know exactly the kind of suit you're talking about. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like this kind of thing's
No, but it's just the delivery of it all. The delivery of it all is very specific. Here's the I stole a baby.
I stole the baby! I stole the baby!
Love all the voices.
It's really funny. Willow's pretty classic. And obviously the reason why I was saying it was relevant now is because there's a Willow TV show now. This is the poster for the TV show, and this is him. And it's great. If you have Disney Plus, you should be watching it. They just dropped episode 3 last night. I was up till 1 a.m. because I wanted to catch it when it dropped. Very, very good. And one of the things that's really interesting, obviously, is they actually do use people with dwarfism.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, Lord of the Rings use forced perspective, right? So, pretty cool getting people who actually, you know... And also, it's Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis is, like, iconic. He played Mini-Me, right? No,
Yep.
Vern Troyer did, I think.
Oh wait, never mind.
Who was it? That?
I think it was Vern
The
Troyer.
Mini-Me guy actually died, unfortunately, rather recently.
He played Marvin. You know the sad robot from
Oh.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Depressed
Oh,
robot?
the robot.
Yeah, he was the depressed robot.
He played Harry Potter. It says something there.
Oh yeah, he was the
The teacher.
Flitwick.
Flitwick.
Oh, okay.
I assume that was the short guy. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
Although I did not place that was Willow.
So different. Change.
Ah, interesting.
I assume it's the character model, like the way they designed the character switched when they switched it, sort of like with Dumbledore there. Who's
Yeah.
Wadabin? Wadabin? Oh, neat. It's not relevant at all, but that's cool.
Touch.
What
There you
an
go.
iconic character. Holy shit.
It's something.
Is this all him? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he had Star Wars experience playing. So.
Yeah, that's him there as well. There's him there. And I knew he was Wicket. So yeah, he's all of these characters.
That's neat.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's probably a similar vibe to, you know, the guy that Guillermo del Toro always uses because he's so, like, lanky and weird?
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume it's a very similar vibe to that where,
There's some
Well, yeah.
testing, you know? It's like a short guy, he's down to wear weird suits and costumes.
Yeah, get himself out there.
is that Dinklage?
Trumpkin.
Oh, that's Trumpkin, okay. Yeah, this one is, that's Willow and that's Dinklage, I think.
Was that the Narnia movies?
Yeah,
Oh, which one was that? I don't remember any, like, dwarves.
Prince Caspian.
So long. Right from the start of the movie, yeah. He finds, like, asylum with them. Okay, yeah. I remember.
But yeah, no, let's get back to Willow before we sidetrack too aggressively. So, yeah, Willow's a high fantasy movie. Essentially, there's a baby that, like, washes up on shore and he... What's up?
It's a baby.
That's a baby.
It's a Momo.
Little Bobby.
Little
There's the Bobby. Little chunk of baby. But yeah, Willow's like a sorcerer who helps this baby, and they have to fight off Barova or whatever her name is. I think she's down there. Yeah, there she is. And then there's Sayarsi and Mad Mardigan, and it's kind of interesting because it's a singular movie, but they set up this huge universe in a very similar way that like Dark Crystal did.
Yeah, I love Dark Crystal, dude. Holy shit. Have you guys seen that Netflix series?
I've watched the first 3
Oh,
episodes.
no.
I haven't gone back in. It's actually not. I like the because they still use animatronics and stuff for it. It's just higher end, right? So like,
Yeah, it was like very visually stunning.
Yeah.
It was probably like the best puppetry I've ever seen.
it's insane. Like that's a puppet there.
Yeah.
That is a puppet.
Effects are great.
Absolutely.
I just love everything about like the visual style
Mhm.
of Dark Crystal.
Oh, for sure.
And like there's just like this really like cool balance of this trick where it's like childlike and creepy and
Mhm.
the exact right amount of uses, you know what I mean? to where I feel like it could reasonably like appeal to like literally all age groups. Like you couldn't tell
Very
me
80s.
kids film, but you couldn't tell me this isn't a kids film. You feel it?
Yeah, it's one of those kids films that's slightly too dark for them, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I really need to go watch it. And this tactics game is really good, apparently.
The tactics game. I
Yeah,
didn't even fucking know about that, dude. Holy shit.
Age of Resistance. It's
You just tactics.
think the best comparison I can give you for like gameplay from what I've seen is it plays a little bit like Final Fantasy Tactics,
Yeah, it looked like that from the general idea of it.
but with like 3D models. But it's still pretty cool. Like it's a tactics game. I like tactics games.
I really like tactics game too. Except that one.
There's a new CRB in the Warhammer universe dropping, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. CRPG, sorry. The problem with Warhammer though is you never know if it's going to be good because they license that IP out to everyone.
Dude, I've seen like at least 1 million Warhammer games.
Exactly.
All of them seem like the jankiest shit of all time.
But then you get to like, for some reason, the football one, Blood Bowl, is like super polished. Like Blood Bowl 3 is amazing.
Yeah.
Same with the Total War Warhammer 3, super polished. But yeah, no. Dark Crystal's also very good. Branden, have you seen Dark Crystal?
I probably saw the original ages ago. That's about it.
You got that
What are the
weird
movies for, like,
Skeksis trauma going.
Yeah, I got lots of those.
my first memory of this movie was actually like so traumatizing. I was like 7 or 8 years old, more like 6 or 7, and like my grandma put it on. I remember like being too fucking like creeped out in the middle of the film.
Yeah.
I legit had to like leave and just go to bed early.
Oh, that's fair.
No, for sure. Like,
It was, like kind of unsettling. You know?
well, it's also because it's practical too. Like, you can tell that that's physically there, and it makes it all the more unsettling. You're just like watching as this Skeksis like halfway through an asthma attack talks about how they want to murder these like young characters, and you're like, I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah. Ooh, that.
It also reminds
what's
me of.
the movie?
Go ahead.
It's just like it reminded me of what's the movie with David Bowie. I can't recall the
I was
name.
gonna say that. I was about to mention
Oh!
Labyrinth. Yeah.
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. That's the one.
Holy
You-
shit!
you know-
Be on the exact same track.
Well,
I have-
you can't look at these and like not like combine them.
I
Well,
love
they
that.
are all. I think that's also Jim Henson. Both of them are.
Oh yeah, just Jim Henson like was the puppet guy.
I fucking love David Bowie in everything like this. Like he goes full anime villain.
Just eats
right?
this-
And there's,
eats
like,
it.
The climax where it's like there's like that giant room. He's like like floating around everywhere, and like he's like walking on like the walls and shit.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that he was kind of like his character was just creeping on this like
16-year-old, yeah.
But it's- Everything else about it was awesome.
Well, he's the villain, all right. He's allowed
Yeah.
to be
Gross.
Sure.
He's the villain. Gross motivations make sense. But also, like David Bowie has too much charisma. Stop being charismatic and making us like the villain, please and thank you.
Yeah, they were kind of.
What a hair.
He helped. He was just so good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I've never actually watched it. I've just heard so much about it. I really should go back and watch it one day. I'll see if I can find like a 4K release of it, so like a huge in HD upscale or something like that.
I think they did that like around the time like Bowie died. There was like a very big special edition. That's actually how I came to like know of the movie myself. Is like it had like a big resurgence after Bowie's unfortunate death and everything.
No, that's fair. I'm genuinely surprised we haven't seen anything in that universe either. Like, because Willow's obviously coming back, but that's because Willow was a Lucas property. It was a George Lucas property, one of his like other one. Because George Lucas had 3 big properties that was important to them.
Yeah, obviously like
Star Wars, yeah. And then it was Star Wars, Willow. Those were the big ones, and then he did a bunch of direction of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
yes.
so like those were the 3 things that like were more or less relevant from, I guess, technically American Graffiti, but like I'm more from a franchise perspective, right?
Have you guys ever seen that one George Lucas film? THX 1138. I actually had to look it up so I could remember the last.
I have not.
Dude, it's so fucking ahead of its time. There's like literally like a scene in that movie. Like, it's like a very dystopian sci-fi film.
Yeah,
And
looks
there's
like it.
literally a scene in that movie.
Holy shit, George Lucas looked young.
It shows people like
So weird, right?
these weird plastic shapes, and then they feel good just because they purchased it, and then they throw it out. Like that's like bro, that's way too fucking ahead of its time. That's like way too early for
Ew.
such a, like, deep fucking critique of capitalism. Like,
Do you see this?
I can't believe this is the guy who made Star Wars. Like, what the fuck? Oh, okay, never mind. It's equals. Yeah. Is that it?
No, this is a spiritual successor.
Oh, okay.
Where,
I'm sure I like the wrong movie. Okay, this is very similar. Yeah.
yeah. Well, what about you, Brandon? Any movie you want me to pull up right here?
Let's see. What was one I? Let's see.
Because we've been doing mostly fantasy, and there are other genres out there.
I was gonna say, let's go goofy, and who remembers the Ernest movies?
I remember the.
I know they existed, but I never liked them because Ernest creeped me out.
I mean, that's fair. Like, I
like
could definitely
the
see
vibe.
that vibe from his weird.
Isn't the house like sentient in
weird
that?
Thing he was. Hey.
Isn't that like a whole thing with like the house being like alive in that? No? Is that a different weird house?
To be fair, there are so many Ernest movies that might be one.
The only one I saw was the one where he plays basketball.
There's that one. There's that one. There's Ernest Goes to Camps. There's the Halloween one where there's a freaking troll that he's trying to save kids from.
What
I think his best one, or one that I remember being the most fond, is the Ernest Christmas one. Because, oh, what's that guy's name? The Santa in it was like one of the best Santas in cinema. Ernest.
I mean, as little offense as possible, but he seems like like the vibe he gives off screams early 2000s YouTuber.
Ernest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It screams like overacting early 2000s YouTube, like
Oh, he was very much over the top. For
Oh,
sure.
oh.
Tell Gavin that YouTube didn't exist until.
oh, well, sorry, mid to late 2000s. When did YouTube?
It was like 2005 or something.
Yeah, sorry, early YouTube. Is what I mean to say. How dare I? 2005. Okay. It screams like Fred to me.
Yeah, I was about to say. Which reminds me of the fucking Fred movies. This man actually got.
Yeah, and they're bad, and I don't want to talk about them.
Oh, Douglas Seal.
It was
He has a.
definitely one of
Oh,
those-
he's the guy who. Douglas Seal is the Sultan in Aladdin.
Oh, okay, nice.
So he's got that. He's got this like amazing voice,
Hmm.
and his delivery of like Santa's lines are so good.
Is that him as Santa here?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What a fine, upstanding.
On the note of Santa, you boys want to go try and see Murder Clause tonight? If you
Yeah,
could-
I do want to see that eventually. Is there one tonight?
Violent Night.
Unfortunately, I have a thing to go to tonight.
Okay, we'll pick a different night. It's fine.
Oh, this.
We got a while.
Let's see. What's like a good sci-fi? Obviously, I feel like Hitchhiker's is a little new, but Hitchhiker's is
Aliens.
well, Hitchhiker,
Any-
yeah.
Aliens.
Any Schwarzenegger movie?
I will say Aliens is iconic, but it wasn't like formative for me in any way. Like I understand the value of it, but I do not like. I don't have a personal attachment to it myself. You guys?
Neither do I.
Not really.
I feel like I have a stronger attachment to Predator than I do Aliens, which is funny.
Oh shit! You know one I have like a really big attachment to actually.
What's that?
I didn't see it until like maybe I was like 14, 15.
This one right here.
Honestly, not that long ago, but The Truman Show.
Truman Show's so good, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that was a hell of a good show.
Bro, the ending of that film, like, because of that film, like, I love any movie, TV show, novel, game, where, like, at the end there's some sort of, like, huge reveal where it's like, oh my god, like, the universe isn't actually real, and you need to make a choice, you know, like, will you accept, like, false reality.
Plays Doki Doki Literature Club.
Like, you rather, like, face like the truth, like.
Truman Show's really good. People like that movie's solid.
Yeah, and it is surprisingly iconic. It's iconic to the point that when I was working in Japan, I worked in a junior high school, and this is within the last 5 years. These kids did a essentially retelling of the Truman Show as their school, like, what is it? It was basically like part of the school festival or whatever. And I was watching this. I'm like, huh. A lot of these beats they're hitting are very familiar. And I'm just watching it up until the end. I'm like, holy shit! They just did just a retelling of the Truman Show. I was like, I didn't know anybody in Japan knew that movie, let alone junior high school kids in the 2010s.
I know, right?
Threw you for a loop.
Yeah, it really did. It was super cool.
Nice. Back to the Future? Anyone? I loved
Yes.
Back to the Future.
Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
So good.
What's you guys' favorite Back to the Future, bro? We're dying on this hill right now.
I mean, 1 is really good. 2 had a lot of fun bits, but 1 really just stands out to me.
So 1, he goes to the past, and that's the one where his mom wants to make out with him. 2 is the one where he goes to the future, and 3 is the one where he goes to the Cowboys. So not 3. Not 3.
3 is the weakest by like a long shot. Like it's always 1 or 2.
Yeah, I feel like 1 has to be it as much as I really like a lot of the parts of 2.
I mean, I get it. Like 1's like the better movie on like a fundamental level.
Well, it's one of those things where if somebody says they like 2 more than 1, I'd be like, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I where are my shoes, Nike? Where are my self-tying shoes?
Where's our cover boards?
I think the funniest thing to me about Back to the Future and how like it's aged is knowing that Crispin Glover in it plays like this awkward nerdy guy when all of his roles nowadays is he's just this creepy off-putting dude. Because he's
what was the year for Back to the Future 2? What was the future year they were in?
Oh,
because I feel like we've passed it.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Let's see. What year did they jump to? 1955?
No.
2015.
What?
2015.
Okay, 2015.
We passed it 7 years ago.
Oh boy. I love that. I love watching these old movies and be like, in the far off year of 2021, or 20, or even 2001.
We do not have hoverboard. Look. This is what they imagined. Oh my god. Okay. Yes. Okay. I need to pull up Warriors of Virtue because this one is hilarious. I love this one.
Warriors of Virtue is such a.
Warriors of Virtue?
Yes.
What a movie that was.
Not that one. Not that one. There it is. Give me my giant kangaroo martial artists that are elemental based.
Fuck, dude. I did not know this existed.
You've never seen it? It's so fucking weird.
Ninja Turtles craze.
Except for it's such a strange job of it. Holy shit. Okay.
It really was. Like, those fucking mutant kangaroos are so off-putting.
Yeah, and then the sequel, they just did people in costumes, which I feel like, you know what? That makes sense. That feels like a good way to go. You take your martial artists, you pull them out of the jank costumes. They're a lot less creepy. Like, that's real off-putting. I love this movie, though.
Oh god, I honestly don't remember anything other than just the awkwardness.
The movie starts with him falling in like so the movie starts with him falling in like a water thing.
Yeah.
It's like they're in the sewers and he like falls through like a water thing and then like
Yeah. It's basically just like, oh, he died.
I mean, as much as the costume. Yeah, you got isekai. Truth.
Holy shit.
More isekais need to do that instead of a car. That's my take of the day. I will say, like, as much as the costumes look jank, they're pretty decent. All things considered.
Remove it from the kangaroo aspects?
Well, I just mean more like the budget wasn't that big, so like the classic TMNT costumes also look pretty jank too.
Yeah. Oh, the villain. The villain in that show was so goofy.
Not that. Okay, come on, give me classic. Show me that. No, that's not classic. I want the classic ones. I want the ones where you can't move.
No, don't do TMNT. Like right up the. Or go 1990.
Here it is. That's good enough. That's
Yeah.
oh, we love.
That's from the third.
It is,
second
yeah.
Movie. The first movie actually did look better. Yeah, like that was the first movie,
Yeah.
and it's like
That's a lot better than the kangaroo.
they're way better. They actually, it's so weird how the costumes got worse in the original
They did.
Teenage Mutant
You
Ninja
think they
movies.
just like reuse the
Right?
costumes, right?
I mean, I imagine the damage done to the costumes over time is pretty rough too, though.
That's also probably true.
I love these movies too. Like we haven't got to them yet, but God, do I love the TMNT movies? They're so good.
Oh yeah, that first TMNT movie was one of my favorites.
The scene where
It probably
they're
still is.
the scene in the turtle shell and stuff like that, so good. Where they're like rolling on the floor and dodging that way. I'm like,
It was one of those things where it actually really wasn't a kids movie per se, because
No.
a lot of the jokes and the language were just like, no, this is an action movie for adults.
also Casey, the part where he just like oops and like meet like compactors shredder in the garbage truck.
Just Shredder.
I'm just like what the fuck.
It was like that was Casey Jones. Casey Jones was like a good dude who was like a proper vigilante. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, there's a bad guy. I need to beat the ever loving.
He's the Red Hood of the TMNT gang until Raphael also becomes the TMNT gang. When you say family dinosaur, do you mean dinosaurs like the TV show?
Oh, the dinosaur show. Oh, you.
It says just dinosaur.
Just ignore my spelling, please. The not the mama baby with the five. Not the mama. Boop, boop. The baby is adorable.
Baby's a monster.
He's such a little asshole. All he does is constantly beat his dad.
Oh yeah, just hit him with
such a
frying
little
pans
jerk.
and whatever. It was such a weird show.
That is. I do remember like shows with similar visual styles that were around when I was a kid too, like that kind of.
So the premise is that humans didn't exist, and the dinosaurs sort of just like came through to our time. So like the dad is a lumberjack, and he's working like a 9-to-5 job as a lumberjack. But instead of like chopping down trees, he just pushes them over.
Yeah.
There's his boss.
There are some, like, during the show, there are some, like, real legit, like, creepy and, like, just weird plots.
Well, I mean, they also just like there's a plot line where he like learns to talk to it, like he like lets his food live because he talks to it one day.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, no, I love dinosaurs. It was like 3-4 seasons. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Yeah, I went back and
watched the hell out of it when I was younger.
yeah, that was my classic
I
one.
feel like not being able to go to sleep at night. I'll make sure to watch.
Okay, let's see. Somebody mentioned Kazam. I have not seen this in my life, but I have seen like bits and pieces.
Honestly, you're not
Jack.
missing anything, but it's ooh.
I love anything that Shaquille O'Neal stars in because it's usually like really good, really bad.
I just remember just one line. Let's green egg and ham it. Such a stupid line.
I love it. I love it so much.
If we're going for NBA tie-ins, we gotta talk about Space Jam.
Oh, absolutely. Quick
So
aside,
Space Jam at least was pretty good.
White Chicks is pretty recent, but White Chicks is also pretty great. I think that was like the first time I had ever seen Terry Crews in something.
I never watched that movie.
You've never watched White Chicks?
It made me uncomfortable to
I've
look
only
at.
seen the scene with Terry Miles where Terry Miles.
Yeah, Terry Crews here.
See what I mean? Like that scene is so famous that I accidentally called him Terry Miles. You know, that's how.
He's so weird in it, and I love it. Oh, it's so good. White Chicks is so funny. But you are right. The prosthetics on their faces and stuff make them look real weird. They're real creep. Alright, you were saying... What did you just say a second ago before I did this?
Space Jam, man.
Space Jam.
Oh,
Space
yeah,
Jam.
Space Jam.
Come on and jam. The new one is very lame. And I do not care for it very much. What I will say is... my only... like long-lasting question about Space Jam is why Lola Bunny gotta enter like that? Why you gotta film it like that? Why you gotta be like that?
only there to be sexy. That's literally all.
That is a rabbit. You don't need to do that.
Guess what? They did.
They did it. It worked. Enjoy your furries now.
I kind of like how at the start of the film, like they even have like a whole ass scene, dedicated to like riffing on how Michael Jordan was like, I hate the NBA. I'm gonna go pretend to be a baseball player for a few years.
Yeah.
And he was like the worst baseball player in the league.
He was mid as hell, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that, like, the integration of animation and live action, they did a great job giving it depth and stuff, too, with the shadows and stuff.
Yeah, any movie that combines 2D animation.
Yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Roger
Yeah,
Rabbit,
I was
there's
just
also
gonna
a Looney
say-
Tunes one that does the same thing too. But yeah, Roger Rabbit is
Well,
probably
yeah.
like the best one out of all of them.
Oh yeah,
Does
that
it-
is like one of the quintessential like tuned to live action movies.
You know, I kind of should watch this movie eventually. They did a decent job with the CG. The character models look pretty good. As far as the Looney Tunes movie, is that the one with Brendan Fraser, you mean?
Yeah, the one with Brendan Fraser. Holy shit, I
Right.
remember that too. And there's like a full-on fucking war, and there's like there's some death beam ray shit.
You put Brendan Fraser in a movie and I'm going to watch it. That man is an absolute unit. I love him. I loved him in The Mummies.
Brendan Fraser was in every movie.
Yeah. I loved him in Looney Tunes. I loved him in The Mummy. I loved him in Monkey Bone. Even though that movie is fucking weird.
Yeah.
This movie is wild.
Fraser's great.
Um,
That movie is such a mess.
oh, it's so fucking weird. There's like a dreamscape thing. There's a sexy cat lady. There's Grim Reapers, and there's this clay monkey. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Speaking of these kinds of movies, though, good old Nicky, Little Nicky.
Oh yes,
All the Adam Sandler movies of the time.
yes. Very much the same vibe, but I do like Little Nicky. It's probably one of my favorites.
That is definitely the one I think. That and Happy Gilmore are the ones that I remember the most fondly.
Yeah. Little Nicky is so weird, but I enjoyed the movie. All right, let's see.
Another very, very like well quoted movie.
Leo put this one in here. Small Soldiers.
Yeah, he hit my face.
Oh, holy fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That movie was my fucking jam.
Small Soldiers is like Toy Story, but IRL. I loved it. Oh, Gremlins. We'll have to look at that one after, because Gremlins is...
Gremlins. That's one of my faves.
Small Soldiers was so weird, but they did, like, I really enjoyed it. They did a pretty decent job with the, like, at least I think they did. I don't know. Is nostalgia ruining this for me right now?
I feel like if I watched it now,
Probably. I don't think it holds up as well as you think it does.
I feel like I was...
watch it ever again, so that's all.
I'm just gonna pretend that that the animatronic work was really good. Yeah, see?
Oh shit! Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's
What
solid.
they did with the figures, not bad, but it's a lot of the other stuff.
Yeah, I'd imagine like the actual plot probably isn't.
It was very 90s.
That's fair. Okay, where do we stand on Gremlins? What? I love it. Gremlins is one of my favorites. I love Mowgli. He's so cute. Or
I
Mowgli.
remember when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Gremlins.
Gizmo, you mean?
Gizmo, yeah.
I was gonna say Mowgli.
Aren't they called Moglins or something like that? The group?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Like the race of creatures. They're called Mogwai. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
they.
name was Gizmo, though.
Yeah, no. But I love the Mogwai in general. And then they become Gremlins. Evil
And that
ones.
just gave me that last Google page just gave me a bunch of ideas too, of other movies.
Look at this Gremlin! I am genuinely shocked we haven't gotten a Gremlins TV show. Chucky has a 2TV show. Give me my Gremlins one.
I feel like like.
Especially with how good Baby Yoda is. Like, just imagine how good the Gremlins TV show would be.
I'm kind of confused now. Yeah, like who owns the rights to Gremlins?
They're missing out. Baby Yoda printed money.
Not Disney.
I just love the humor in all those movies. They're so fun.
It's Warner Brothers. See
There's
that?
like a big list of movies right here.
See, that explains right here. Yeah, that list. Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, Ghostbusters, Batman.
Yeah, all of those classic early '90s ones. Like obviously, oh wait, did I click Gremlins? I thought I clicked Beetlejuice. Oh, that's why. Okay, I'll just type it.
Yeah, it's taking a thing.
Beetlejuice is great. I love the musical.
Michael Keaton. Michael
Keaton. Keaton. Yes, Michael Keaton. He's good at it. He's really good at it.
Amazing job.
Beetlejuice, be a doll, a straight up bro. I'll think about you, I'll let you know, but I prefer my chances down below. The Beetlejuice musical's so good.
Did you guys ever see the Beetlejuice cartoon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
So weird.
I wish it didn't sometimes.
That's cool.
That's fun. I like that.
Oh, it's
He's
a Broadway show.
yeah. This is from the musical. That's Lydia, and that's Beetlejuice, and he's really good in it. Like the music's so solid. Also, obviously, Winona Ryder's in there, and then in a similar vein to Beetlejuice, we'll jump back in a second here. The Heathers movie.
I know of.
Well, I know Heathers mostly because it became a musical, and that's where most of my personal attachment for this from. But like, super dark. The TV show is not that great, but that's okay. Yeah, like three bitchy girls. She gets dressed up, joins them, and then like, there's a like murder spree in the background. Pretty cool. Where's JD? Show me JD. There's JD. Yeah, it's Christian Slater.
Christian Slater. Yo, I love Christian.
Yeah, he's the bad guy. He sucks in this. He's an absolute insufferable little shithead. I think he blows up the school if I remember correctly. he's a bad person in it. He's so edgy. But no, I really, it's a really fun film. A little dated, but it's good.
I believe it.
All right. You were what were we thinking after that?
The
Ghostbusters. Yes. Okay.
Ghostbusters was like just up there with Ninja Turtles for me as like iconic parts of my childhood.
Okay. Few questions on Ghostbusters here. 1 and 2, both very solid. How do you feel about this one? I thought it wasn't as bad as everyone was treating it.
It definitely wasn't as bad as ever. It wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad as everyone made it out to be.
It was a mediocre comedy movie.
You know
that just was overblown into a large controversy because
this one I genuinely liked. Have you watched Afterlife yet?
I actually still need to watch it.
Very charming. Very charming. One of the kids' name is Podcast, which gives me very much like that early 90s vibe where you just get like someone chose their name off of their one gimmick.
Yeah.
Like okay, I'm just gonna go to it right now because I need to be able to point out the Goonies.
Oh, Goonies.
Yeah, like the Goonies was so good, and then also the kid here, he stopped acting after he was like 18, and he just came back now, and he's so good. He's in Everything Everywhere All at Once, and he's so good as the husband.
Yeah, wow, Everything Everywhere.
Yeah, he stopped acting for a long time, and then he came back just for that. Also, look, it's Samwise. Little Samwise.
No, that was him. What?
That's amazing.
Little Samwise. The cast is actually super stacked, all things considered, for the Goonies. Josh Brolin. Corey Feldman's pretty famous still. Chunk's not.
Logan, too. Oh my God.
Fucking Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Oh boy.
Oh my lord. Ooh. Hook? No, you're supposed to go to Hook.
I did love Hook. That was a great movie.
I feel like Hook was pretty good. I liked Hook quite a lot.
Hook.
You've never heard of Hook?
Yeah,
So,
Hook me
It's-
right now.
Really good Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin Williams is Peter Pan. Functionally, what happens is Peter Pan went back to the regular world, aged, and then he goes back to Neverland after like when he's like in his mid-30s, and he's got to re-find his like youth a little bit in it, and he's got to like
Oh.
fight off Hook still, and it's so good,
The guy who plays Hook is so good.
isn't it? Dennis Rodman, Dennis Hoffman, Dustin Hoffman.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah, he's good.
That's
Very hammy. But no, Hook's so good. And there's a spiritual successor all about this character here. Ruffalo, or whatever his name is. Oh, what is his name? You can find the spiritual successor films online as well here. Rufio, yeah. So there's like a Rufio spin-off movie that somebody made.
yeah, and it's Dante Bosco.
Yeah.
I love Dante Bosco. He's so
God, there's
good.
so many good like classic movies that I'm just like, yeah, I love that movie. You know what I didn't love? This movie was mid as shit. I don't have a strong take on it. The Pan movie.
Oh yeah.
It's so mid that I actually don't even know what this is. I've never heard of it. I didn't know it existed.
Well, there's a few things that I'm not a huge fan. The first being Rooney Mara as Tiger Lily. That feels weird, considering Tiger Lily's indigenous, and that was kind of like a whole thing with her. And that is overtly not an indigenous person, I'm pretty sure. I will say, I do like the fact that it's technically like a prequel, so it's telling a different narrative a little bit. I like Hugh Jackman a lot, so any role he's in I can enjoy. Also, Sexy Hook. I'm cool with that. As a little prequel thing.
Huge Jackman.
I don't know. I feel like it's not bad. I feel like it's more forgettable than anything else. Like,
Yeah, like, just look at that poster. Look at that poster, and like I can immediately tell why this didn't sell. That is like the most generic cardboard cutout poster I have.
did you watch this one ever? Like this one
Oh yeah. No,
from like 2003. I remember vague things from it, but it also, like, I feel like if you're gonna watch Peter Pan, you might as well just watch the original animated, because nothing has topped it yet. But here's hoping this one's okay. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Jude Law is Captain Hook. And Alan Tudyk is the dad. I can handle that.
Yeah.
They also didn't whitewash Tiger Lily, so that's probably good.
Improvement on Pan already.
bare minimum.
I mean, Tiger Lily's kind of not a great character to begin with, but if you're going to put Tiger Lily in the property, if you're not going to like figure out a different way to do it, you know, at least do it well, please.
I feel like maybe like the solution is just don't add Tiger. You know? I mean, then it's like, you know what I mean.
Did we talk about Indiana Jones yet? I feel like we probably should have, especially with the fact that the 5th one's coming out here now.
Here's my hot take.
I
Temple
forgot
of
there's another
Doom
one.
is the best one, in my opinion.
Temple of
I know
Doom?
I'm gonna get crucified at the cross for saying that, but it's true.
For which one?
Temple of Doom is the best one, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like, people really hate it, and I get why, because like it's very different from the other two, where it's like it's set almost entirely in one building, and it's like very creepy and like dark. But I don't know, I just feel like the like fucking atmosphere is like really cool. I kind of like the setting more. Like I almost kind of like that it's like one big.
Yeah. It's a bottle episode.
It's like a bottle episode, yeah. And Short Round wasn't that annoying. Like I don't get why everybody.
It was very annoying.
I will say that every single...
I will not let that slide. And it wasn't his fault. It was not the kid actor's fault. The direction they gave him was horrendous.
I mean,
Well, okay,
yeah.
His acting was not that good. But like he's a child actor, you know.
No, I wouldn't say it's not his acting. I would not say it's his acting. It's the fact that they told him that that's what he needed to do.
Oh yeah. Not so much his acting, but like the general like
They're like, no, this is how the kid character needs to act. It's like, no.
Yeah.
I feel like for me maybe like it's just because like Short Round doesn't really get that much screen time anyways. Like obviously like he's in the intro, but most of that is like with Indy.
But the thing is, like, when he shows up, it's grating, and unfortunately so. And it's the same with the leading lady and how much she spends screaming.
I'll believe that. I don't like the lead, the female lead.
Yeah, they just.
I think like
they did the side characters dirty.
over the top, yeah. But I think like as far as like Indy goes, like I like him the most.
Hey, don't forget, you can always have Crystal Skull.
Oh god.
The new one looks better than Crystal Skull, though, for sure.
Absolutely.
Have you watched the trailer for the new one? The new one, it looks decent. Looks like they got a lot of that de-age in there, so that they'll have like.
The de-aging technology in that is fucking wild. Like,
Yeah.
I actually thought like this is like found footage that they just stole off of Lucas's like hard
The
drive.
Dial of Destiny. 2023. That's the year of follow-up. So obviously you got Harrison Ford being all Harrison Ford and shit. Mads Mikkelsen, pretty good choice for a villain. You know, if you go grab a Bond villain and put them in your Indiana Jones movie and you're set. I love Phoebe Walters. She's so funny in shit. Oh my god, what's the show called? Fuck. Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Why did I say Walters? Fleabag. She's so funny in Fleabag. If you haven't watched Fleabag, watch Fleabag. Let's see if we can find some footage of him de-aged. There he is.
I don't know. I'm very about the de-aging stuff.
Disney's got it pretty figured out at this point, I think. Like, as long as...
I don't care how well they have it figured out. I just feel very about them using this.
So the problem...
Kind of get what you mean. Like, it's a bit... Even if it looks realistic, it does, like... It feels weird, right? It feels like there's some dark magic, yeah.
So...
It's like...
I think...
These actors got older. I don't care how badly you want this property to not die. Just let it go. Harrison Ford is an old man now.
Yeah, I mean...
if you want to have an Indiana Jones movie and have him in it, have him in there as Old Man Jones.
And they are. He is in it as Old Man Jones. I think it's because they want to be able to use both timelines. They want to jump back and forth a bit in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember like when they were filming this movie, like maybe like 2 years back? I want to say there was that big thing where like Harrison Ford kept on insisting to do his own stunts, even though he's like 85.
Yeah, the problem was Harrison Ford...
At some point he like got injured.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
Because he's old. That was one of the things that made Crystal Skull not as good, is that Harrison Ford's like stunt presence was a lot weaker. So everything felt a little bit like more rigid and jank, right? So that's one of those. That's kind of why they're doing what they're doing with the de-aging, is so that they have the ability to do that. Although, and I mean, what the other logical conclusion, if you want a franchise to keep going, is you find a way to get a successor, right? And that's what they were trying to do with Shia LaBeouf and Mutt.
Shia LaBeouf was Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, and that sucked ass. So now they've got to figure out another way of doing it, right? Because the Indiana, just like the franchise, Star Wars franchise, Indiana Jones isn't going anywhere, and I mean that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, you're not gonna let it die. It's going to print money even if it's not good. At least until there's enough failures, and one failure isn't enough, right? How do you guys feel about this? One's not as old, so it's probably not as like relevant to the discussion at hand. But how do you feel about the new National Treasure?
Oh, absolutely nothing.
There's a new one?
Yeah,
I know
so
of National Treasure and 2.
yeah, so you've watched both National Treasures, because those are basically like, if you want your Indiana Jones but modern time, if you want that like globe trotting excavate thing, I guess technically Uncharted would be that very much idea. Similar vibe, but like
National Treasure.
yeah. So there's a new National Treasure. It's not National Treasure 3 though. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if that's ever going... Okay, sure. Apparently they're doing the TV show, and then they're doing... So I believe it's called Edge of History. Here it is. Because the National Treasure IP is not quite as attached to the main characters as any other. It's just called National Treasure. It's not Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what the character Nick Cage played.
Doesn't matter. It's Nick Cage. But yeah, so we're getting a National Treasure TV show coming up here. I don't know. Looks fun.
I think it's a good format for like a TV show. Like you can have like an episodic thing where it's
where they're like getting bits and pieces as they go. You got like, oh, we have to get to this piece of item. So one episode is getting to like the Independence, and then you do the next
like
episode.
A heist, yeah.
Where it's always just like a little heist, and then they brought the one dude back as himself again, which is pretty fun. Hey Tyler, stand up again for a second. I'm implying you look a lot like him.
I was like him?
Yeah, I'm implying
we
that.
make like the same pose, you know? Like,
Other way, on the camera. Oh. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. But no, Catherine Zeta-Jones is in this too. That's fun. I don't know. It looks fun. I'm curious to see how it goes. When does that drop? December 14th. So that'll be in 7 days here. I feel like National Treasure is very good, but I also feel like it's not the same like nostalgia thing, because it's feel like it's one of those IPs where you probably wouldn't have cared if it was just left behind. I think we got time for a couple more here. Branden, you got any more you wanted me to bring up here? Or?
Secret of Nim.
Ooh, good choice.
Friggin'
One or two
animated movie from my past.
Well, both? 1, 2, or both?
Just one.
Okay, see,
We do not speak of 2.
that's funny because my attachment is 2 too.
2 is so bad.
It doesn't matter, because I was a child, and children are idiots.
It's
But
true.
never seen either.
So,
Oh.
Secret of Nim is really good. So this is, go ahead and tell them about one. Tell them about one.
Okay, so Secret of Nim is basically it has like a sci-fi fantasy-esque vibes about this mother mouse who's basically just trying to look after her family after her husband died. And it's like the craziest like fever dream of a movie because there's like is it all magic? Is it all science? What is this world? But it's so and it's heart-wrenching. The characters are so well done and the animation is beautiful.
I will say I love anything where it's like we take this setting that's like usually known for like anything but rats and we just make everyone rats. I feel like the inclusion of rats is like an automatic +1 to any storyline. You know, so I'm definitely kind of interested in it.
It's great. And you literally are fearing for Miss Brisby the entire movie.
Okay, so
she could die at any moment. And then there's 2.
okay, I'm gonna walk you through Secrets of Nim too. Okay, Buddy here. This is the kid of Miss Brisby.
You notice an immediate difference?
In quality, absolutely. So.
It's one of the direct-to-DVD ones.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Timmy to the rescue. Let's go. So that's Miss Brisbane in this one. This is this is his little older brother, I believe. Oh my lord. The reason, and then there's like the painting of the famous rat from the first one as well, the male one. And it's all about this kid dealing with like his self-imposed expectations to like stand like to.
Well, not just him. Apparently, everyone's like, "Oh, he's the son of Jonathan. He's gonna be the fucking savior."
Yeah.
So,
It's this kid dealing with expectations
and in the first movie, he was a sickly kid who was dying.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
movie was trying to keep him alive.
Yeah. And then like part of the plot is that like him and his brother like hanging out, and his brother gets fucking like rat-napped.
Yeah.
Right here, like this kid gets rat-napped, and then the villains, which are like I think they're humans experimenting on them, turn them into this looking motherfucker.
Oh, what the
And
fuck?
he takes over the humans.
Yeah.
They made him into like the New York City sewer rat.
Yeah, but like there's a whole plot line where like he's brainwashing the humans and shit. Like it's so fucking weird. There's the cats that work for him and shit.
The song he sings.
Yeah, his villain song.
Fun. That's like the only thing that was good about it was his villain song.
Was the first one a musical or was it just the second one?
No, there was no songs in the first one.
So they just made the second one a musical for some godforsaken reason.
It was just like immediate, just like everything went wrong.
I-
What is any of it?
So obviously we need songs.
Just made me so sad.
Yeah, let's see if I can find the villain song. Yeah, so okay, sure. Just say yes. Yeah, here it is.
That is
more effective
just
idea
say
than to
yes.
work.
Grammar that helps you.
There you go.
Oh, we're not hearing anything.
Oh no?
Oh, it's very quiet.
Yeah, it's quite on my end too. But like, this is the flashback thing, so it's just like how we got transformed.
And it's Bill. It's what's his name? Billy.
I'm not sure, but like, just he's so fucking overtly
Everything is
evil looking. Everyone is so evil. Look. He's such a little monster. Oh. But yeah, no, it's so like, what is happening in this?
No, he snipes his brother? What the
It's so weird. You've got to watch it to like really understand what is happening in that movie, and it's so buck wild.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's
No, I kind of like 2 now. Oh my god.
2 is
It's
so 1 is genuinely good. 2 is
Yeah.
fun because it's bad.
It was
Like,
ironic.
I'm fine with people enjoying the second one for its own reasons, but it's just the dip in quality makes me so sad.
Also,
Well, it was
Fern
one of
Gully
those
is
things where it's, like,
amazing.
all of the it was like in the middle of that era where like,
Ugh.
because I remember too, all of those older Disney movies, they all had shitty sequels that weren't actually in theaters. They just
Absolutely.
I do think the Cinderella sequels were actually really good.
A couple of them were pretty decent. Like one of them made the evil stepsister an actual character, which was fun.
Yeah.
Have you watched Ferngully, Tyler? You're young.
Burn Gully. I don't want to watch.
No, you do. You do. Robin Williams does a baddie rap. My name is Batty. My logic is erratic. Dude, Robin Williams as a bat, and Tim
Allen?
Curry as the sexiest sludge monster you've ever heard.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Dude.
It's a toxic cloud.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But his voice, just the fucking
That's because it's Tim Curry.
Yeah.
If it had been anybody else, I don't think it would have been as good.
But no, seriously, if you are ever in the need to like watch Avatar, just watch Ferngully instead. It's just better.
Is better Avatar?
It's better Avatar. That's my stake.
And it's got more character or more personality.
Avatar's so fucking boring. I don't know why they're making a sequel. I have no interest in it.
Avatar had
Branden.
cool graphics, so it made a lot of money.
Ooh.
Avatar's cool, also-
I hate 3D, so that sucks.
People mistake the fact that it was visually appealing for it being a good movie.
I love Land.
And then
was a
everybody
good
started talking about it, and they talked about it more about why. Land Before Time is really good, but why did they make like
12.
Before Time?
It's like 12 of them, yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the Final Fantasy of kids games.
This is another one where like the first movie was great, and then everything afterwards just was like,
I feel like the first 3 are pretty good.
okay, maybe. I don't remember the anything after one.
For me, Land Before Time tier list.
Because I love the little T-Rex. The T-Rex one was cute as hell.
Jesus Christ, I've forgotten about that.
Time of the Great Giving was pretty good too. Like, that's... I feel like there's quite a few that are pretty solid, and then I think they dip in quality.
What was the very last one?
2016.
What the?
Yeah.
14?
Yeah.
Dude, that like what? Oh my god.
Let's see if the...
Don't jinx it. I would not be surprised if they made another one at some point.
Okay, let's see. Journey of the Brave. Images. I mean, I don't think the quality's gotten any worse. Like, video, like, the animation, it looks fine.
Yeah, this looks like a slightly.
Just HD is all it really is.
The old one, but it doesn't look too good, but not like horrible.
Yeah.
And then, like it's like a direct to DVD.
Oh, right, they all were, for sure.
Like,
No,
I'm not
no.
expecting world class quality.
God. So, on the note of dinosaurs, and I think John Bluth as well, obviously this is from American Tail, which is also very, very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
5 Goes West, all that shit, so good. Also, the one thing about this movie series that always, like, the only thing I can think of when I see it now is the fact that, like, Ducky's dad killed her.
Really?
Yeah, so
I forgot about that.
Ducky, the little one there, the actress was murdered by her father, and that's, like, the only thing that I can think about when I think about that series.
That reminds me of like how like the Diary of the Wimpy Kid like killed his own mother and like planned to assassinate Trudeau or something.
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ.
That was
So,
a few years ago.
have any of you seen this movie? I love this movie.
This movie is
So fucking weird, yeah.
so weird.
So, functionally, a guy goes back in time, kidnaps a bunch of dinosaurs, I believe pumps up their intelligence, and then brings them to the present time.
That's a pretty
For
fucking
some
good
reason,
plan.
It's so
I thought
fucking...
this was a good idea.
Hey, have you heard the fucking songs in this movie? So
Yes.
so good.
I have.
There's the dinosaur before, and there's after. I love how when they get more intelligence, they just become less, like, actual dinosaur.
Yeah.
They become
They
like
just
more like
cartoonify them is what they do.
Yeah. Zapped him with the Looney Tunes ray. Dude, love this one. Is it, the main dinosaur? Yeah, I was like, that is John Goodman. Yeah, I was like, I'm hearing the voice from the song in my head, and I was like, that has to be, right? Yeah. So good, though. I love that movie. One of my favorites to go back and rewatch. It's from the year I was born. Ooh, I'm going to add it to the list of Gavin's favorite movies from when he was born, which also includes Nightmare Before Christmas. Also came out the year I was born. Also, very good.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Alright, Tyler, you got any more you want to pull up here before we finish for the night?
There was one thing I wanted to pull up. Have any of you guys ever seen the Brave Little Toaster? It's like in the same category as the Land Before Time.
Absolutely. God, dude, I'm not gonna go back and watch any of it besides maybe the first part. But I liked Brave Little Toaster. It was cute.
I like the lamp. There's that
Why?
one scene in the first movie where it's like they're all like, you know, cold in the rain or whatever, and like the lamp, like he goes outside into like the thunderstorm,
Yeah.
and then he uses himself as like a lightning rod so that he can charge his light. Like it's like the most badass fucking shit. And the little brave little toaster.
Is this a heated blanket? Is that what I'm seeing? Is that what that little guy is? Like a little heated blanket?
Yeah, he's like an electric blanket, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh!
And there's the toaster, and then there's like one like it's like the second or third movie. They meet some computer, and the computer's like the villain, like he's super mean to everybody or whatever.
The brave little toaster goes to Mars. What the hell?
Yeah, and they go to space for some reason.
Why?
Putt Putt, which is like a PC game series that like also was about an object and a third game.
Yeah.
For some reason.
It's screaming ready to be a bad serial game disc PC, like the fucking like those.
Point-and-click adventure right here.
Yeah, it absolutely screams. Somebody thought of this initially as like a weird jank point and click kids adventure thing.
Or on something like that.
That makes so much sense. Yeah.
Jesus, what a world we live in.
It is something, that's for sure.
Oh, I forgot. I'm glad I got to mention Brave Little Toaster at least one time before I died.
5 Goes West. I love 5 Goes West. It's so cute.
American Tail? Yeah, that's pretty good.
This 5 Goes West is the sequel, but you're absolutely American Tail is so good though. And that's also one of those things where it's like the quality of animation between the two probably dropped significantly as well. Between American Tail and then 5 Goes West, and then like Manhattan Island one. The original one's the best for sure. Woo. God, you could do a whole episode on just on Don Bluth.
Oh yeah, Don Bluth's just there's so much to his stuff.
Yeah, because he did Secret of Nim. Is that All Dogs Go to Heaven? Yeah.
Yes. And you can always tell, like, there's such a distinct.
He did the first Time Before Time too. Yeah. Anastasia. That's the game that he made.
Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer, yeah. Oh God. Look at this. That's cool. I love that.
Did any of you guys ever see the Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon?
Yeah.
That one was kind
Or
of.
the Super Mario Brothers Super Show with fucking the wrestler.
All right.
It's like there was a drug PSA using the guy who played Mario in the live action portion as well.
Oh, is he like actually like in character? He's like telling kids like.
No, he's Mario.
Okay, Luigi.
Feels like we can include this one.
The gimmick was he's just talking directly to the kids. There's just like if you do drugs before you die, you will go to hell.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
No, not even like at least try to tie it into Mario, but no.
Your minister, your rabbi, your whatever about this stuff, and it was just like, what are they doing to Mario?
All of the war shit is like crazy. I love Treasure Planet.
The 90s was
So-
pretty nuts.
I do think Treasure Planet is like pretty good, but I do feel there's like almost like a sense of like it's become a little bit overrated, where it's
Yeah.
because like it's not the most popular Disney property and it's good doesn't mean it's like
Amazing. I mean, one of the things I say about Treasure Planet. Oh, that looks so good. I love that so much. Actually, that looks great. I think one of the things with Treasure Planet though is that it does hold up very well still, being 20 years old now. Even the CG, the way they used it, is still pretty good because I believe, for the most part, they actually drew over a lot of the CG themselves too.
it's
And,
really like one of the best 2D looking movies there's.
So good. I love Treasure Planet. It's so good.
I also like anything based off of Treasure Island, really. Like I know like honestly the basis on Treasure Island is pretty loose in this movie, but
Yeah.
like there's
The
enough
Treasure
that-
Island.
I just like the villain in this movie especially is like pretty fucking amazing if from being real. And just like
Yeah.
the relationship he has with like
The main character is pretty good, yeah.
yeah.
He's so tragic because he knows that he's gonna have to betray him and shit, and you're like, look at him. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like who he is.
Man.
They did such a good job with him. He's such a bastard, but damn. Also, it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, which is cool. I like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Huh.
Yeah, JGL.
Ryan Murray in there too.
All right. Anyone else got any more they want to pull up here before we call it for a night? Before a day?
Okay, guys, gotta ask you an important question.
All right.
You want Team Shrek or Team Shrek 2?
I'm Team Shrek 4. No.
Whoa.
I've heard Shrek 4 is actually better than Shrek 3 for sure.
It is. I think Shrek 4 is like okay. It's just okay.
I'm Team Puss in Boots movies.
Have you seen the trailer for that new one?
The new one looks really good. Yeah, it dropped Christmas.
Monster is good.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like
Shrek 1 for me.
both were really good. I think maybe 2 is.
I like Shrek 2. Like it's just a bit funnier, a bit more tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Dude, I love like they're going with like
The painted art style looks so good.
yeah, like the general Spider-Verse-esque.
Well, you can see this one, right? This was the old one, the first Puss in Boots movie, right? And you're like, okay, that's just literally the animation style from Shrek, right?
Yeah.
Then you look at this one and you can see that they've got like all this painted on texture and stuff that they've given him for the Last Wish here. Let's see. So before, you can see some of it there. It looks really good in motion. You can see a lot of it on the dog there too. But like,
In motion, it looks astoundingly great.
yeah, here, let me see if I can go to videos here for the new
It
one.
makes me hope that like this movie does really well, and they make like a Shrek 5.
Yeah, with this level.
We are gathered here today to say goodbye to Puss in Boots. Puss in Boots, you are down to your last life. You need to retire.
Look at him. They look so good.
Meet your new roommate.
Well,
She put little mins on her kids.
a legend.
This is a person party. That's your party.
So this is where dignity goes to die. The years start coming and they don't stop coming.
You're Puss in Boots? Let's.
No hablo inglés.
¿Hablas español? Yo también. ¿De dónde eres? ¿Te gustan las fiestas?
I don't speak Spanish either.
You're funny. What's your story?
My story.
What are we looking at?
Of 9 lives. Watch.
I think you're saying I'm too high.
Now I am my last life.
Oh no.
Legend tells of a wish.
Oh no.
Wish waiting to be granted. Piece of boss, I need your help.
Is the great Puss in Boots asking for help?
Well, you see, get it, please. Wish to get me my life back.
Okay, Possum Face. I won't make you beg. But first,
Hey, slow down.
I know what I'm doing.
What? That's funny. Nothing should be funny.
Keep it. Everyone
That was pretty great.
Dude, the Big Bad Wolf looks so cool.
Everything to be.
Dude, the action sequences in the trailer,
It's hard to look impressive when you're licking milk like that.
Goldie.
Bears.
Alright, let's get it over with.
The motion graphic lines are really what's selling it a lot for
You
me.
only have one life. That's what
Yeah,
makes
for me
it
too.
special. Go get it, Tiger. Hey!
Take it easy. This is gonna be fun. What's happening? I am Puss in Boots. The wishing star is in the dark forest. We step through as one. Ready? 1, 2, after you.
Wait, what?
Dog? Still alive?
Let's go find out.
So yeah,
Still alive?
it looks so good. Like honestly, it just looks way better than it has any right to be.
Because the first Puss in Boots movie was like mid. It was like next level mid. Like I don't remember anything about
It was inoffensive, yeah.
Like, Humpty Dumpty was the main villain, and he looked kind of silly. That's it.
But the new one, it looks great. Like, I don't know. The fact it looks like they just put a lot more effort into the art and animation. It looks less direct to DVD.
Yeah, it looks more like something they actually wanted to do rather than just like Puss in Boots is a popular character from a popular movie series.
Yeah.
Let's make a spin-off film because that will make money.
All right. Anything else, or are we gonna call it here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
sounds
I
good.
think we definitely went above and beyond.
We dug through our past movies that we loved. We spent a lot of time looking at crazy fantasy from the 80s.
Hilariously
Lots of
good
puppets.
Lots of puppets.
Lots
So
of
many.
puppets.
A lot of the best movies have puppets.
It's true. So I don't know about
That's
this.
a bit of a puppet resurgence.
I think we just need more puppets IRL then. We need more puppets in our new movies. That's my take.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye,
More
stream.
practical effects.